There are 7 different palettes available in Pixelmator. I have 2 visible right now. My Tools palette here, which is probably the most important and most used palette. I also have the Layers palette right here. Palettes can be rearranged by click and drag. To turn on more palettes, use the View menu. I'll turn on the 5 other available palettes: the Photo Browser, Brushes, Gradients, Fonts, and Colors. Each palette also has its own keyboard shortcut to turn it on and off. For the Brushes palette, that is Command 4. From within the Brushes palette, I can choose from a wide selection of brush sizes and styles. From hard or soft-edged brushes to pattern brushes such as this leaf pattern. The gear icon here in the lower right of the Brushes palette gives access to several more brush styles arranged in different categories like abstract and artistic. Click Show Brush Setting to expand the Brushes palette to display controls to tweak any of the brush styles. As these settings are adjusted, the preview brushstroke here at the bottom will reflect the change. Before you change a brush's settings too much, it's a good idea to duplicate it first. This way you can adjust the new brush all you want, but still have quick access to the original version of the brush. We'll talk more about brushes in the brush tool lesson. Next is the gradient palette. Gradients can be edited by double-clicking on them. It's also possible to create your own custom gradients, which we'll talk about with the gradient tool lesson. The fonts and color palettes look a little different than the others because they are just the default Mac system palettes for colors and fonts. You can see these same palettes in applications like TextEdit or Mail. All of the fonts available on your Mac are displayed in the Fonts palette. Pixelmator has a nice text tool that we'll go over later on in the Layers section. The Colors palette lets you assign the current active color in Pixelmator. There are several different ways to choose the color you want, from the color wheel here to a crayon color picker. To save any color for later, drag it down to this lower bar. This color will now be available anytime I open the color palette in any application that uses the Mac System color palette. The last palette is the Photo Browser. This provides a great way to locate photos in Iphoto or in your Pictures menu. It displays all your Iphoto events and albums, or your entire Iphoto library all at once. You can use the search field here to narrow down the photos displayed by name. The Photo Browser can be expanded by click and drag to show a lot of photos at once. To open one in Pixelmator, just double-click. Many of you will be using Iphoto and Pixelmator hand in hand. So I want to show you how to make Pixelmator the default editor for Iphoto. I'm going to open Iphoto and head into Iphoto's Preferences. Here in the Advanced pane is an Edit Photos menu. I can leave this set to edit photos in Iphoto, or change it to an application of my choosing. I'll find Pixelmator and select it. Now when I'm in Iphoto and select Edit, the photo is automatically opened in Pixelmator. I can then make any changes, save, and those changes are reflected in Iphoto. If you don't want Pixelmator to open every single time you choose Edit in Iphoto, you can return to the Iphoto preferences and switch back to Edit Photos in Iphoto. The great thing about this, though, is Iphoto knows Pixelmator is still an option. So I can click the Edit button in Iphoto and everything is back to normal. But if I want to work with this image in Pixelmator, all I have to do is right-click on it and choose Edit in External Editor. My external editor is now Pixelmator because it's listed in the Edit Photos menu in Iphoto's Preferences. So now just right-click on any image in Iphoto, choose Edit in External Editor, and it will open in Pixelmator. When saved, the photo will be updated in Iphoto.